Ooh, I mean, oops.
Oops. Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Hello, Allison. What's up? Thank you guys for coming in. I'm just hanging out. I have some traveling to do today. I'm working on some emails. I need a body double, so I always hop on live when I'm working on emails and stuff because for some reason I need multiple things going on to be able to focus on the thing I actually need to get done. ADHD. But yeah, how are you guys doing? Hope everyone is doing well. Peekaboo. What's up, Camo Brat? Sammy, 75 the best. Welcome in. How are you guys doing? Can I have mod? I already have Camo Brat in here. So Camo Brat and Allison, my wife, are already mods in here, but I appreciate the offer. I'm playing Pokemon Go right now, by the way. Laura, hello. Ooh, hatch poke. Oh, it's a Squirtle. But yeah, how's everyone doing? Thank you guys for coming in. I didn't even see what the second egg hatch was. So, oh. How are you doing? Good. I'm working on, I got emails to do, and then I'll be traveling today. I'm hoping my flight doesn't get canceled. You know, with the government shutdown and everything going on, I'm just worried about that, of course, but we'll see. I'm exhausted, but good, the usual. Yeah, I feel that. I absolutely feel that. I'm just catching some Pokemon quick before I get back to emails here. Okay. What do you do for work? So I do mental health advocacy now full time. So I get to travel around, go to speaking events. I'm a full-time speaker and content creator. So when I say like, oh, I'm working, I'm doing, I'm either editing, working on videos. Right now I'm responding to emails about speaking opportunities, stuff like that. One of the guys that worked on Pokemon Go is giving us a in real life presentation this January. Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool. Doing better today. Me and my mom made some behavioral therapy progress. Oh, that's awesome. Congratulations. That's great. I've never seen you live before. Well, welcome in. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Good morning, Jack. Good morning to you, too. Hi, I'm taking pills because of my hallucinations, but without them, I was more friendly, open, and fun. Now with them, I'm sad and empty. I will say, medication takes time. Your body takes time to adjust to medication. I started having those symptoms or like those side effects early on where it's like you're kind of like muted or like you have a hard time expressing emotions. If you find the right medication and you keep up with it, some of that doesn't completely go away. But like me, I'm on I'm on antipsychotics, and I've found that now I can be more social. I'm able to communicate better. So, like with time, some of that does balance out. You know. Kody, haven't seen you in forever, man. Glad you're doing good. Thank you. Yeah, I'm doing great. Been traveling a lot. I'm currently in New Orleans. I was in New Orleans a couple weeks ago. I'm in New Jersey right now. I have to fly out of New York in a couple hours here to go to Birmingham, Alabama. which will be interesting. I've never been before, but I have a speaking event out there. Is this the Green Harbor Mayor's office? No, no, I am not. I don't know where Green Harbor is, but no, I'm not there. What type of content do you make? So I make, specifically I make content about schizophrenia, mental health addiction, mental health, addiction recovery, prison reform. I live with schizophrenia. I'm also a caregiver for my mother with schizoaffective disorder, so I want to pop in and say hi. Thank you so much for hanging out and coming in. I appreciate it. He also worked on the Transformer. That's awesome, actually. That's super cool. There's a guy you used to do videos with who had time in prison. I can't remember his name. You're probably thinking of Zach Galloway or Colin Ray, unless you're specifically talking about the podcast. What did you say your dual diagnosis? So I've been diagnosed officially with schizophrenia. I do have, I am also diagnosed with substance abuse disorder. Once I got sober, I was able to really deal with my schizophrenia diagnosis. And so technically that would be like a co-occurring diagnosis, not necessarily a dual diagnosis. I have to go look him up again. It's been forever. Yeah, he's still making content on he is still making content on TikTok, and yeah, I think now his tag is at officialzachgalloway.com or .com. I'm so sorry. I'm exhausted. I've been at a conference all weekend. It's at officialzachgalloway. Not .com. Sorry. Is it normal to be 15 and have schizophrenia? No. So schizophrenia is usually a diagnosis in early adulthood. So like late teens, early 20s is the most common age range. Now that being said, childhood schizophrenia is possible. It can happen. It's rare. It's not a common diagnosis. That being said, once again, 15 is a little bit more likely, but it's not the most common age for a diagnosis, for sure. My friend has schizoaffective disorder that was hard to watch when she was off her meds. Wish I could get rid of these illnesses. Yeah, it is tough. Living with these diagnoses can be really challenging and at times really scary too, but yeah, I think we're lucky now, especially in this day and age. There are a ton of resources out there. There's a lot of ways to deal with, learn to live and cope with this diagnosis. So just a reminder for anyone who's in here who doesn't know, I do have a new podcast. It's called Skits and Giggles, skits like schizophrenia and giggles. And we talk about schizophrenia, schizoaffective disorder, and living with a severe mental illness. I also have a book that's out now called Minds Over Meetings. It's about mental health and mental illness in the workplace. So feel free to check that out as well. All of that is located on my website. I highly recommend. What medication do you take? So I don't talk about medication specifics because I want people to remember medication reacts differently for everyone. Everyone has a different brain chemistry, so what I take might not work for another person living with schizophrenia. We all have to kind of we have to work with our caregivers and our doctors to find what works for us. I will say, without saying brand name or dosage or anything, I am on a long-acting injection. So instead of taking daily oral medication now, I do take a injection once a month for my schizophrenia instead of having to be on daily oral medication. Mine started at 14 already. First diagnosis at 16. Nice. Yeah, I'm glad to hear. I'm glad to hear you're doing good though, and you're able to kind of live a full functional life with your diagnosis. It can be really difficult. Joshua, that's definitely something that you can believe in. I haven't seen any evidence to back up that statement, and I also think that medication does help because I'm living proof that medication works. So obviously, I'm open to any science or anything that may come in the future to find alternative treatment or medication, whatever. But I am someone who tries to share like what we know about this diagnosis and what helps. I can easily look up what long-acting antipsychotic medication can be taken. There's several, so there's it's not just one. There are several companies. There are several places that make long-acting injections. This is not a one-size-fits-all. Like I just said, there are different forms of this medication and different treatment. And it is okay. There we go. Sorry, my camera stopped working for a second there. I wasn't sure if you guys could see me or hear me. I wouldn't even tell people that much info. I get it, but like I do want people to know that long-acting injections are an option. And at the end of the day, I still try to remind people that like they need to consult their doctor. They need to find what works for them. And just because I'm on an LAI doesn't mean that that's going to be effective for that patient. Do you see things that aren't there daily? Not anymore. Before I was on medication, yes, I used to have symptoms pretty much every single day, pretty much constantly. But now that I'm on medication, I only have breakthrough symptoms a few times a month. I would say 2 to 3 times a month, I have auditory and visual hallucinations, and even that, like, it's minimal compared to what it used to be. It's not usually an all-day thing. It's usually a few hours where I have increased symptoms, and I have to either sometimes it makes me miss events, or I have to stay home. All those things. So, not every single day though. Could you, Bridget, could you mute Joshua for now? But yeah, so I don't know about that specific medication. I don't take it for schizophrenia symptoms. I'm sure I was there was a point where I had it for severe symptoms, just to help calm me down. And it looks like someone just said that too. I did have it at one point for severe symptoms, but once again, that comes down to a conversation with your doctor, making sure that that would work for you. Some people with schizophrenia also have passive addiction, so that might be something they wouldn't prescribe because they don't want a person to become addicted to that medication because it is a controlled substance and people can get addicted to it. That being said, if used in moderation and used well, it can help with like calming a person down when symptoms start or when they're having severe symptoms. Could you scroll up and to what I asked? I don't want to keep repeating. Could you ask it one more time? I swear I'll catch it this time. Sorry, there was some stuff in there that I was trying to address and wanted to take care of. If you put it one more time, I'll catch it this time, I swear. I have a question. Do you dream weird things? I actually don't dream at all. I don't know if this is because of my schizophrenia or medication or whatever. I do not dream at all. I haven't for years. Like, I shouldn't say I never do, but it's really rare. Like, in the past 5 years, I can think of one time I've had a dream. Because people ask me that a lot. They're like, oh, does your schizophrenia make your dreams weird or different? I'm like, I couldn't tell you because I don't have dreams. It's probably the medication. I thought so too, but like I know several people on antipsychotics for schizophrenia, and they still dream. They still have they still have dreams. I don't. So maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I was the same way, but my dreams are super crazy now. Yeah, I just not something I deal with anymore. I wish you all the best. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Is that normal? It can be, unfortunately. Mr. Drakewood, it depends on the person. Unfortunately, if someone is experiencing psychosis and the hallucinations or something are trying to tell them to do things like be hateful or violent, sometimes it does affect a person's ability to like act right or act correctly, or and even when I was in like really deep psychosis or I was experiencing delusions, there was times where I didn't do things that were appropriate, and I was like, I didn't hurt anyone, but that's not uncommon for people with schizophrenia to become like scared or like hurt themselves, or unfortunately sometimes hurt others. Now, I do want to preface that with a reminder that people with schizophrenia are statistically more likely to be the victim of violent crimes than to commit violent crimes. So like, I'm not saying because a person has schizophrenia they will be violent, but in the same way that like any human being on earth could be violent, statistically there are going to be people with schizophrenia that also could be violent. So not saying that is the reason, but it could, if a person already has violent tendencies and then they have schizophrenia, it could definitely cause issues. Would you say something like that is still safe around people, specifically around kids? It's every person is different. I would say that if someone is violent, I would say this about a neurotypical person who doesn't have a schizophrenia diagnosis. If a person's violent, they probably shouldn't be around kids, right? Like, and if this person is unmedicated or unwilling to get medication, then I would be careful. That's once again though, I would say that about anyone, not just a person with schizophrenia. And I'm not saying it because of their schizophrenia. I'm saying it because if the person is violent or vulgar and you don't want that around kids, there are people in my everyday life that I wouldn't want around if I had kids, that I wouldn't want around kids. And it could be just because of how they act or what they say. That is a very reasonable thing, and it doesn't have to do with their diagnosis or who they are as a person. It's just like, hey, I don't want those ideals or those actions portrayed around like my kids or my family. And I don't have kids, so it's hard for me to say that. Sorry, I'm just responding to one of my friends here. Were there any diet changes that helped with schizophrenia? I mean, there's changes that have helped me live a little bit more of a like comfortable life, but nothing that's like cured or fixed my schizophrenia. Were there any? Oh, I just read that one. Do you play video games? Yes, I love video games. My top 3 video games are Skyrim, Fallout 4, and Witcher 3. Dude, I like your jacket. You look really nice, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, guys, I'm going to hop off. I have to go work on some stuff, but I will try to do a live either tomorrow or the following day. But everyone, take it easy and have a good one. I will talk to you soon. Peace.